Hello and welcome to our next Heroes Spotlight on Myrmidon, a fragrant, fishy sea creature that'll send his magic carp after you and give Kraken a run for his tentacles. Epic dance moves included. Let's go over his skills. Myrmidon can create a path of weeds from himself to a target location that'll hold enemies in place and deal damage over time. The skill has exceptionally long range and is great for large team battles, allowing you to freeze multiple enemies in place and lay fishies of doom upon them. Or, in this case, a couple stabs with his trident. Myrmidon can also send fresh magic carp splashing after a target. The fish will travel any distance to reach its goal, and if the target is moving, he'll be stunned on impact. This trusty fish companion is quite useful for chasing down enemies with invisibility, by revealing their position and forcing them to stop momentarily to prevent being stunned. After throwing out a fish, you can expect your enemy to either react and stop in place, or get stunned, allowing you to aim your weed field accordingly. His third skill allows him to make use of his swimming ability and wiggle those tentacles, charging a considerable distance and slowing everything in his path while reducing magic armor. The charge follows pathing and goes around cliffs and trees, not over them. For his ultimate, Myrmidon transforms into a land creature, sprouting legs and smacking his enemies at melee range with his giant claw. He slows move speed with each hit and deals magic damage for the duration. If the target is spell immune, he'll deal his physical attack damage instead. His melee form is especially useful for smaller battles in which you can get a good amount of hits on your target. In a large team battle, you can get focused down too easily at melee range. Myrmidon's skill build is a bit versatile, as all three of his non-ultimate skills are quite useful in conjunction with each other. For this reason, you should get at least one level of each at the start, and then level them according to the situation, getting your ultimate whenever available. Since Myrmidon is an intelligence hero that morphs into a melee attacker, you'll need a decent amount of items that boost your health and armor. You could also build him as a caster focused on ganking and avoiding direct combat. Generally, you'll want to max out his weed field first after level 3 for the stun duration and the fact that it can hit multiple units. While Magic Harp can be a more reliable spell because it cannot miss, it has a smaller cast range, and if your enemy is quick enough to react, you might not get a stun off at all. As you can see in this clip, Weed Field can be very powerful when chasing enemies and assisting allies. In this clip, you can see how easy it is to combo Myrmidon's first and second skill, making it much easier for you to land your stun. Simply set your fish flying at a target, and as it closes in, aim the weed field at where it'll hit. This creates an easy target for you and your allies to follow up with any stuns and additional targeted spells. Also, for survivability purposes, you should be getting strength steam boosts with this hero if you plan on going into team fights with the use of your ultimate. Myrmidon lacks strength gain, and since these boosts will give the benefit of both health and attack speed, your melee form will be able to deal more damage and survive longer to chase down enemies. As a starting item, if in the middle lane, I'd recommend getting a bottle. Every one of Myrmidon's abilities assists you in beating your opponent to the rune spawn. Power Supply and Chalice are also viable options, but getting all three would be overkill, and not worth the money spent. An absolute core item on Myrmidon for teamfights is Shrunken Head. Without it, or once it wears off, your ultimate makes you a mouth-watering piece of sushi that your enemies will want to nom-nom. For late-game items, Frostfield Plate pairs well for survivability in large teamfights, using the area effect slow to damage and set your enemies up for more disables. Storm Spirit, Puzzle Box, and Sheepstick are also great options, depending on how you've decided to play your hero, caster, or tank and DPS. Alright, that's all I've got for now. Thanks everyone for your continued support, and I hope you enjoyed this guide and learned something about the fishy man and his noodly appendages.